recording this message because I felt that I'd like to give a testimony on how God freed me from the chains of drugs and alcohol and being around negative people and negative behavior. You know, I was walking down the street one day. I was out on what we used to call a mission and my drug usage, and I seen a friend of mine, and I remember the last time I seen him, we were using drugs and alcohol, and he didn't look anything like he did when I seen him this particular day. He gained weight, you know, he fresh haircut. Well, anyway, I asked him. I said, "Well, how did you change from the way you used to be? What have you done?" And he said, "I asked God to help me." And you know, I talked to him for a little while, and after that, I was still back out there, but it always stayed in my mind. I want to be like him. I want to change like him. And then all of a sudden, I decided to change my life around. You know, I went away to rehab. I actually learned something in rehab. And when I got out of rehab, I said to myself, you know, now let's give this life of freedom a try. Now, I have to admit, I went back out for 24 hours, but it wasn't the same. I wasn't comfortable. So I went back and I prayed on it, and I asked God, I said, "God, you know, I've been noticing that I've always asked you to help me stop using, and you would help me, but I'd go back out there. Tell me, what am I doing wrong?" And God said to me, "All you need to do is ask me to stay stopped." So I asked God, help me stay stopped off of using drugs and alcohol. And all of a sudden, the desire I had to use drugs and alcohol, desire I had to be around negative people, negative places, and doing negative things was lifted. And I'm proud to say that was 14 years ago to today. Also, last year, I got tired of smoking cigarettes, and I put the same principle towards stopping to smoke cigarettes that I did towards stopping using drugs and alcohol. I asked God to help me stay stopped off of cigarettes. And the miracle about that was the same day he lifted the taste of wanting a cigarette from my body. So I'm sharing this to let anybody out there who's losing hope that's using drugs and alcohol, you can stop with the help of God. Men and women like Elaine have been helping me so much. Elaine's YouTube video is brightens my day up every day. And I want to thank you, Elaine. And anybody who's listening to Elaine's videos that feels that there's no hope in stopping the use of drugs and alcohol, I'm a witness. This is my testimony. You can stop using drugs and alcohol. All you have to do is get a higher power, put them in your life, and instead of talking about stopping, walk it, live it, stay stopped. I hope this little testimony that I gave you is enough right now for you to understand that it is possible to stop using drugs.